It is a bright sunny day. In a restaurant, amidst lively chatter, Emma is having breakfast with her boyfriend, Noah. She is talking about how she choked on cheese and had to have Heimlich on bat mitzvah. Noah gives her his steak and says she needs to eat it because she forgets to take her iron supplements and is very low on iron. Emma thinks it is a very sweet gesture, but it turns out that Noah is breaking up with her. Somewhere at a birthday party, Peter is playing with the kids. It is his girlfriend's, Anne's, nephew's birthday. He picks Toby, Anne's nephew, on his shoulders and jokingly asks Anne where Toby is, making Toby giggle. But Anne acts as a buzzkill and blurts out that Toby is on his shoulders. Peter sends Toby to play with other kids and asks Anne what's happening. She starts crying and says she wants to break up with him. Back in the restaurant, Emma wants to know what went wrong. Noah tells her that he is ready for the next chapter in his life, but Emma is still figuring out a lot of things, implying her lack of responsibility. Emma doesn't understand, so he elaborates that Emma has college kids as her roommates. She is 32, and she still hasn't figured out what she wants to do in her life. Noah then reveals he has met someone. She books an Uber to go back home, and Noah waits with her. But the driver cancels on her, and she asks Noah to go. She tries to persuade him not to break up with her one last time, but he says he is sorry and leaves. Emma's sniffles soon turn into wailing. Peter is baffled because Anne wants to break up with him out of nowhere. Anne tells him she has been unhappy for a while now. She feels they are stuck in their relationship. She was never meant to be an English teacher. Anne feels the complacency in their life is holding her back from the big life she has always dreamt of. In their 6 years of relationship, they never once went out of the country together. Peter asks if he can at least stay to sing happy birthday to Toby. Anne thinks it isn't a good idea, but Peter promises to keep it together. He ends up sobbing as everybody sings happy birthday. Emma and Peter get rid of everything that reminds them of their partners. After suffering and sobbing for days, they go back to their work. But that doesn't help, either. Emma is again reminded of Noah, and she goes outside to cry on the staircase. In a meeting, Peter finds out that Anne has already started dating, and he blows up, and excuses himself to step outside and cry. He is crying when he hears someone cry upstairs. He calls out, asking the other person if everything is fine. Emma peeks from upstairs and says everything is fine. She avoids saying anything and starts leaving, but Peter stops her because she has mascara all over her face. She wipes it off and tells him that he has pieces of toilet paper stuck on his face. They get to talking and tell each other they just got dumped. Peter asks Emma if she wants to talk about it, and she agrees. They start telling each other about their relationships, and that makes them an emotional wreck once again. They realize the awkwardness, and so they go to karaoke together and sing their hearts out. They also get drunk, and Emma decides to drunk call Noah. But Peter stops her and says they cannot call them because their exes left them, and calling them would make them look needy in front of their exes. So he suggests that if they ever feel like calling their exes, they should call each other. Emma likes the idea and names their relationship Sadness Sisters. The Sadness Sisters meet again for a movie. Emma gets emotional and reveals Noah was his airplane safety mask guy. Peter asks what it means. She explains that since childhood, she dreamt that if ever there was an emergency, she would put on her lover's mask on him before her own. They start debating till a man from behind their seat furiously asks them to shut up. They are in a much better mood after the movie is over and decide to meet up for lunch the next day. At lunch, they agonize over their ex's new relationships. Their idea of Sadness Sisters doesn't seem to bear any fruit, as all they do is fret over their miserable selves and get drunk. So, to keep the spirit of the Sadness Sisters up, they again get drunk at night. The thought of ending up alone is too much to take for them. Emma asserts they need to get their ex-partners back. They need to make them realize that they belong with each other. But with the new shiny people around them, it is going to be one heck of a task. So they come up with the idea to break them apart from their current partners. Peter laughs at the idea at first, but then thinks about how they are going to do it. They come up with all sorts of plans, and then it hits Emma. She can seduce Logan, Anne's new boyfriend, and make him cheat on her. Peter thinks they are finally getting somewhere. He offers to do the same with Ginny, Noah's new girlfriend. But Emma laughs at the thought. Peter asks why she's laughing. Not to be rude, Emma says he is a very nice person with whom anybody can fall in love deeply. The catch is that it may take them a year or two to do so. So Emma suggests he can become Noah's friend and make him realize Ginny is not that great for him. He agrees with that. He asks Emma again if they can do it. Emma assures him that she will seduce Logan, and he will friendship seduce Noah, and they will win back their partners. Emma goes to Anne's middle school, where Logan is the director. She volunteers for Logan's production of Little Shop of Horrors. She tries to flirt with him and says she used to do theater back in school. He appreciates her coming and asks her to start with paper mache. Peter hires Noah as his personal gym trainer. Noah motivates him to take off his shirt, to take a before picture before they start training. But Peter outrightly refuses. They start lifting weights, and Peter gains some information about Ginny before passing out from lifting. Trevor, one of the students, asks Emma why she is there. Emma says she is there because she loves musical theater, and asks him the same question. He says he is in work detention for skipping science class for a week. Anne walks in with the costumes, and Emma starts talking to Logan in a sultry way. Anne jumps in to join the conversation, and Logan introduces her as the English teacher and costume mistress. Emma poses herself as someone who is very passionate about theater, which makes Anne envious. She allures him with the promise of spending a romantic evening. Later, Emma meets Peter and tells him about Anne and Logan. She feels they have love, but are also passive-aggressive in their relationship. She asks about Noah. Peter doesn't want to be the bearer of any sad news, so he decides to focus on the positive. Suddenly, Emma's roommates start making noise as they are getting intimate in the other room. Peter asks why she hasn't got her own place. She discloses that she intended to move after her sophomore year, but she had to drop out because her dad remained sick for most of his life. He had cancer, and ultimately, he lost the battle. She wanted to go back to school but then thought she should figure out what she wanted to do in her life, which for some reason, she couldn't. Peter still suggests it is time for her to move. In the coming days, Emma and Peter do their part. Emma impresses Logan and even gets him to follow her on Instagram. Peter also is more comfortable with the exercises and has developed a brotherly bond with Noah. After the rehearsals, Emma is walking out of the school building when she finds Trevor sitting on the stairs alone. She asks him if everything is fine, and he tells her that his dad has to pick him up, but he forgot. Emma offers to drop him home. She stops the car and talks to him. Trevor reveals his dad is cheating on his other dad and is having an affair with the research librarian. Because of this, Trevor frequently argues with his dad. Emma lets him on a secret about being an adult. She tells him that adults are also clueless sometimes, and sometimes they do things hoping not to mess things up. But when it does, they feel bad about themselves. She suggests that Trevor talk to his dad once without fighting. Trevor understands and requests her to keep driving for a while, even though they are on his street. Emma smiles as she drives. Noah and Peter are running in the park when Peter proposes they go to Noah's girlfriend's cafe and grab a bite. They soon arrive at the cafe, and Peter is impressed by the ambience. Ginny greets them at the entrance and serves them delicious pies. While eating, Noah asks Peter if he is dating. Peter tells him that he recently got out of a relationship. Noah offers to be his wingman and take him to a club owned by his buddy. Peter appreciates that. Emma and Peter are shopping together for their next step. Emma decides to wear a stunning blue dress to woo Logan. When she comes out of the changing room, Peter is mesmerized by how good she looks, but refrains from saying anything other than a generic compliment. They go for ice cream after shopping, and Peter saves an older woman from the skateboarders. He helps her get to a table, and Emma calls his act adorable. He confesses he loves old people, but it is ironic that he makes a living helping an evil corporation earn millions by malnourishing sweet, helpless grandparents. She questions him why he works there if he hates his job so much. Peter tells her it was supposed to be temporary. He wanted to do something good with his degree, but he jumped on the first job that was offered to him, and now he is stuck. He shares his dream of opening a nursing home, but he regrets becoming part of the problem. Emma says he is a good man and a total catch. Emma arrives at the band rehearsals, and Logan rushes to her. He asks her for a favor. One of their actresses has got pink eye and is resting at home, and they have only one chance to practice with the band. He pleads with her to play the part for just the dress rehearsal. Emma has no choice but to agree. Logan thanks her and asks her to change into the costume. Emma looks dreadful. Noah and Peter arrive at the club. But rather than picking girls for Peter, as they originally intended to, they enjoy their time dancing and drinking. Backstage, Emma is clueless. Trevor meets her and tells her he talked to his dad and that things are a bit better. He goes on stage to set the plants. Emma gets a call from Noah, and she gets nervous. She picks up the call, but Noah doesn't say anything. He realizes Emma is on call when he takes his phone out of his pocket to take a picture. He apologizes and guesses he may have pocket dialed her number while dancing. He cuts short the conversation by saying they should catch up soon, but hangs up as Emma asks for a time. Emma feels miserable and is barely controlling tears when she is given the script and shoved on the stage. She is still sad about what happened, but it plays in her favor as the character needs to display the same emotions. And she ends up giving a brilliant performance on Suddenly, Seymour. Once done, she says she needed it. Logan comes running onto the stage and praises Emma for her amazing performance. He is more than impressed and agrees to go out for drinks with her after the rehearsals. Emma thinks her plan is finally working, but he adds that he'll ask Anne to join them. At the club, some girls ask Noah and Peter to come to their place for an after party. Noah is reluctant, but Peter convinces him to come with them. Logan, Anne, and Emma are having dinner and drinks together. Logan is the kind of guy who doesn't want to restrict himself to one woman. So when Emma offers the idea of the three of them getting together, Logan jumps to take the opportunity. Anne is hesitant, but she doesn't want Logan to think she is a killjoy, and agrees to get together at the opening night to celebrate. Peter and Noah go to the girls' place, and they are soon joined by three other guys who have brought stimulants with them. After much coaxing from others, the two reluctantly take it and then lie in a daze as the pill kicks in. They make Peter jump on a hot tub while Noah dances with the girls. But they soon come to know that the girls lied and they all are underage. Peter and Noah escape as quickly as possible. They sit on a bench and laugh at the whole ordeal. Noah says it was a wake-up call for him. He doesn't want to be afraid of commitments. He has decided he is going to propose to Ginny. Peter tries to dissuade him, but to no avail. Noah soon leaves as his ride comes. Still sitting on the bench, Peter calls Anne and tells her he jumped into a hot tub. He did a spontaneous thing and wanted to tell her that because she was the one he had been sharing things with for the past 6 years. He ends his message by telling her how much it hurts to be away from her. Emma fills in Peter with the progress in their meeting, and she discloses she is going to get together with Logan and Anne. She assures him nothing will happen. It is just a freak-in out. Peter thinks it might work because Anne is very territorial. Emma asks for an update on Logan. Peter is dubious about sharing anything. He discloses that Noah is serious about Ginny, but he assures her he'll do something about it. He then hands her a book he has got for her to help her figure out her purpose, work-wise. He explains the other day, when she was very supportive of his dreams, he really felt good, and wanted to do the same for her. He adds that he believes in her and that she will soon find her purpose in life. Emma is genuinely touched by his offer and thanks him for the book. It is the day of the play, and everything goes well. After it ends, Emma goes to meet Trevor on stage. He talks to her awkwardly, and she understands what he wants. She asks for his phone and gives him her number so they can stay in touch. Trevor says she is now his girlfriend. Logan comes to meet Emma, and she congratulates him on the play's success. He asks her if she is still up for what they planned, and she says yes. Ginny has just left home, and Peter plans to break Noah and Ginny apart by framing Noah for infidelity. Logan is excited and sings along as he serves snacks to the two very uncomfortable women. Peter sneaks into the house, but soon changes his mind. He cannot do this to a friend. But it is too late as someone enters the house. It is Noah, who has bought rose petals and is getting the play's proposal ready. Peter hides in their bedroom. Soon Ginny comes, and Noah proposes to her in the most romantic and earnest way. Ginny gladly accepts. At Logan's place, things get very awkward as Anne and Emma try to pass the time by dancing, and Logan is getting impatient. When they finally move to the bed, Anne decides she doesn't want to do this and even defends Peter when Logan calls him boring. She realizes she wants Peter in her life and rushes out of there. Emma shakes Logan's hand and leaves. She finds Peter sitting in a cafe and smiles, seeing him from the window. She is happy for him and goes in to give him the good news. She joins him, but before she can say anything, Peter says he has bad news, and he wants to say it before he loses his nerve. Emma has his full attention now, and Peter tells her that Noah asked Ginny to marry him, and she said yes. He tries to placate her by saying she is meant to be with someone else. He is relieved that Emma took it with such poise. Their conversation is again interrupted by his phone buzzing. It is Anne, and she wants to come over to his place. Peter is beyond ecstatic and thanks Emma for whatever she has done. He soon goes, leaving Emma completely brokenhearted. The next day Peter visits Emma in her office and tells her he's back with Anne. She is surprised but congratulates her regardless. He thanks her again for everything, and she asks if he would like to go to the theater this weekend. But Peter declines. Now that he is back with Anne, she can't know that he and Emma know each other, and he can't sneak behind her back, so they can't hang out anymore. This leaves Emma upset, but she holds a strong face and suppresses a sniffle as she continues to work. Peter and Anne are snuggling. Peter brings up his plan of starting his own retirement home, but Anne says he doesn't have to do that for her. She was wrong in saying he should take risks, and realized playing safe is Peter's thing. Peter is taken aback by this, because he thought Anne, of all people, would support his dream. Days pass, and Noah and Ginny plan their wedding. Peter runs into Emma sometimes, but they never talk. Emma starts reading the book and finds a new apartment for herself. She soon gets an invitation to Noah's wedding. She goes out to get drunk alone in a fancy restaurant. She runs into Logan, and he joins her. He seems a bit upset, so she pours him some wine, and he shares that his friend got into Broadway, and he is still spiraling around. She talks about her woes, and Logan says that sometimes, seeing someone you once loved embrace new love can be healing. She can't decide whether this is the most insane advice or it makes absolute sense. She settles on a mix of both. Logan offers to be her date for the wedding. At the wedding, Noah, Emma, Logan, Peter, and Anne have a very discomforting reunion. Peter and Emma excuse themselves to get drinks, and Emma tells Peter she has found an apartment and has decided to continue her degree in guidance counseling. Peter is happy for her, but Emma is not in the mood to talk to him because she didn't expect him to become best buddies with Noah. They converse a little, and Noah mentions Peter is opening his retirement home. Emma smiles that Peter finally took a step. She is secretly happy for him. Noah is signaled to get ready, so he leaves. During the ceremony, Peter looks at Emma to see if she is doing fine. He feels bad for her and is concerned about how she is holding up. Peter stands alone on the dock contemplating things. When Anne joins him, he tells her how he felt when she didn't believe in his dream. But Emma did. Saying that, he leaves Anne and walks towards Emma. He apologizes to Emma for blowing her off and says he misses her. Anne follows and is upset by what is going on. Noah, Ginny, and Logan join them, and Emma reveals the entire truth. Peter confesses his feelings to Emma. Emma cries and asks Peter how he can break off with her after they became so close. She further says that he is too late now. Emma leaves. Anne leaves too, and Noah leaves after giving Peter a black eye. Back at the hotel, Anne and Peter talk about their relationship. Peter says he doesn't regret the years he spent with her. Anne confesses that she thought dating Logan would turn her into the free-spirited artist she dreamt of being. But that is not her. Peter assures her that it is okay. They reconcile after what happened and decide it is for the best. They part ways. Emma meets Noah and apologizes for everything. They realize they were never compatible and accept it graciously. Emma boards the same flight as Peter and has an aisle seat next to him. She tries to stay busy on her phone to avoid talking to him. Suddenly, rough turbulence hits the plane, and the oxygen masks come down. Peter rushes to help Emma put on her mask and then goes back to his seat to put on his. After the turbulence gets over, Emma and Peter look at each other, smiling.